Today we're going to hear from researchers who feel that it is important for traditional medicine to find a common ground with the world of faith and spirituality in order to best meet the needs of patients who are sick and dying.
Dr. Patrick Bennett is the Assistant Director of the Center for the Study of Health, Religion, and Spirituality at Indiana State University. He draws attention to the close relation between healthcare and religious practices.
If you look historically, so much of kind of health and well-being has been more innately linked to the church, religious practice, spiritual practices.
Dr. Bennett argues that this is particularly true of psychology. Traditionally, counseling-type relationships were between pastors, priests, rabbis, imams, and members of a congregation.
One of the things that we know is that there's kind of a distancing of researchers from a lot of religious topics over time, which has been fairly well documented.
Researchers frequently come up against the question of what is the proper place of spirituality and religion within scientific thinking.
Kind of this idea that, when you want to pursue science, can you discuss these issues that seem a little bit more ethereal, like spirituality and religion? Do they have a place in scientific discussions?
In the early 20th century, science has been almost exclusively focused on objective reality. However, for Dr. Bennett, disregarding religious concepts would result in ignoring an essential part of humanity. For that particular reason, the tide seems to be shifting in the scientific community as well.
And I think people were a little bit wary of taking on a lot of those questions until more recently, because you can't ignore the fact that religion and spirituality are such important components of people's lives.
Dr. Dana King, from the Medical University of South Carolina, conducted research that showed a correlation between a person's religiosity and his or her readiness to seek out regular health care.
We conducted a study examining whether religious attendance at religious services on a regular basis was related to having a regular health care provider. And what we found was that people who attended religious services regularly were more likely to have a regular physician.
Although there are a number of criteria in measuring religiosity, weekly attendance to religious services correlates well to seeking health care.